All right, thank you, Mayor and Council. Former council member Carol Rudy used to say this is one of her least favorite presentations, that and hearing about asphalt every year. So two meetings in a row, here I am, so I'll try not to be too boring. So every 5 years, the city of Gladstone has to develop a stormwater management plan as required by the Environmental Protection Agency and the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. Our current plan has been in effect since 2021. It expires later this year. So this is our opportunity to present the new plan to you. It's very similar to in the past. We really try to focus on things that we do well. So you'll kind of see that theme through this. One of the things when you do this with a program like this too is you definitely overpromise and overdeliver. So there's a lot of things that we do that aren't in the plan, but we definitely want to meet the intention of the plan. So I'll start with that. Again, I kind of touched on what we're here for today, so I'll kind of move past that slide. We are a regulated municipal separate storm sewer system. That means we operate essentially a system of pipes and open drainage and that type of thing. Not a combined system, but a separate system that is totally stormwater. Our permit is administered by the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, and like I said, our current permit expires at the end of this year. As part on 6 minimum control measures, and I will talk about each one of those. Those 6 minimum control measures are public education and outreach, public involvement and participation, illicit discharge detection and elimination, construction site runoff, post-construction stormwater management, and pollution prevention and good housekeeping. We'll go through each one of those real briefly. To start, so public education outreach. We want to let the public know that we have this program. And what we're trying to focus on is water quality. So I've already received one question tonight. This program, while it does touch on flooding, it is primarily focused on water quality, keeping our streams and creeks and that type of thing clean. So in the public education and outreach component, we have indicated that we will maintain a city stormwater webpage that residents can visit for information and submit questions, comments, that type of thing. We will stencil new and existing storm drains. I'll have a picture of what I mean by that, but essentially if you've ever seen those little placards on the storm drain that says drain to creek, sometimes it's actually in the concrete itself, but we will do that. We will participate in MARC committees. What that includes, MARC has a water quality education committee that we can participate in. The MARC Solid Waste Management District, that's part of this. Any committee that essentially relates to the environment, we have indicated that we participate in. We will publish one article in the Gladstone magazine each year. So if you've read the magazine, there may be an article about leaves in the storm drain, that type of thing. It is because of this stormwater program. And then, Mayor, this kind of shows you how important you are to this program. We have to identify a target pollutant. And for us, it is litter prevention and pickup. So the Gladstone Green Team is a big part of that. So thank you. So public involvement and participation. Again, I just mentioned the Green Team, but things that we do that we take credit for, we operate the regional yard waste recycling facility at Public Works. We host cleanup activities each year. The activities that we've presented in our plan are the spring beautification. Also, when we host a household hazardous waste mobile event in Gladstone. Other programs that we do too that count but aren't necessarily listed in the program directly. We have done for the last several years a electronics recycling event. Shredding could be included in that. Anything that essentially, allows us our residents to dispose of things as they should be disposed of. So if it's not ending up in the creek, that is a good thing, and that meets the intent of the program. Again, I talk a little bit about stenciling storm drains. There's one of those placards that we glue to existing storm drains that don't have it. And then we have a requirement in our specification that all new storm drains will be stenciled with drains to stream. And then we will make one presentation to an elementary school. We actually acquired a model of a watershed a couple years ago. We had a former employee that essentially met with just about every elementary school in Gladstone. We want to continue that. So we would like to make one presentation to an elementary school a year. Next, we want to focus on illicit discharge detection and elimination. What this is essentially anything that doesn't belong in a stream is considered an illicit discharge. That could be oil, that could be paint, that could be sediment, essentially anything that ends up, it could even be leaves and grass clippings. That's considered an illicit discharge. So what we've indicated that we will do is we will routinely update and maintain the city's GIS mapping system. That's the picture you see there. That is our online system that we continually update. We will perform dry weather inspections of stormwater outfalls. So if you see like the end of a storm pipe and it's discharging into a creek, we have to inspect those. We've committed to doing 60% of those over a 5-year period. And we've got several hundred of those across the city. What you're looking for is during dry weather, you're trying to find indications of, has anybody dumped anything? Is a drain hooked up incorrectly? Suds in the storm drain that may be the result of a storm or a improper connection that was installed many years ago. The plan requires us to investigate and eliminate those illicit discharges. There is an enforcement component of it. We have really tried to focus on education to kind of try to stay away from the enforcement whenever we can. Another thing that's a big part of this is we're going to perform routine cleaning of the sanitary sewer collection system. We do about 150,000 feet a year. A sewer overflow is an illicit discharge, so that's a big part of this program as well. And then provide regular staff training. We have to have an internal training program that our staff is aware of and participates in. The city is required to require erosion control measures for all land disturbance activities. The state requires a permit for any land disturbance over 1 acre. The city of Gladstone requires a permit for any land disturbance over 200 square feet. So that's something that we're kind of ahead of the game on. We're required to inspect construction sites, take corrective action where necessary. Again, education has proven to be the best tool. Document those activities, and then again provide staff training. Next, post-construction stormwater management. This one's a little bit different than a lot of people think. What it is if you probably noticed a lot of our new developments, they have a pretty significant stormwater component, and it's basically to reduce the volume of stormwater that comes off construction site or new development. So things like rain gardens, bioswales, anything that promotes infiltration and reduces the volume of water that comes off the new developments, the amount of water that comes off the asphalt pavement, the sidewalks, that type of thing. That's what we're looking for. So that's what post-construction stormwater management is. We are required to inspect post-construction BMPs and require corrective action again, document our activities, and then again provide staff training. So a good example of this would be the Walmart. A couple months ago, there was a maintenance agreement that came before you for approval between the city and Walmart. That's essentially for them to perform inspections of their own BMPs. They're essentially they have to participate as well. It's not just the city inspecting them and telling them that they're not functioning as intended. And then municipal operations. Essentially, we need to conduct inspections of all of our municipal facilities. We're looking at things like if we use a certain chemical, is it stored correctly? Is it applied correctly? And then when it's used, is it disposed of correctly? Performing things like street sweeping and inlet cleaning. That's our storm inlets, to make sure they function as intended. Spill prevention and cleanup specifically listed in the permit. Again, we're required to keep documentation and provide staff training. So kind of moving forward, our next steps, we've already posted the draft stormwater plan to our city's website. There is a email for folks to provide comments, stormwater@gladstone.mo.us. We're going to present it later this week to our EMAC committee to get their opinion on it, incorporate any comments that they may have with the hope of submitting the permit application prior to the end of July. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Tim, how do we decide where and when to use the street sweeper?
So staffing has been a big issue with the street obviously. But essentially, kind of in a perfect scenario, we would sweep collectors and arterials every 2 weeks, and then we would try to sweep every other residential street once in the spring and once in the fall. Now, the fall gets difficult because depending on when we do it, when we start, when the leaves fall, it becomes it becomes an endeavor. So that's generally how we do it, though, is priorities placed on collectors and kind of your high volume streets. And then we move to the residential streets. And then we will get calls. People ask for their street to be swept. And if we can fit them in, we certainly try to do that too.
Questions for Director Nevercall? Thank you, Tim. Great job. Ready? Okay. Well, we are at the time for our meeting, so I will call to order the July 13th regular meeting of the Gladstone City Council and welcome all of you who are here. Madam Clerk, please note that all council members are present tonight, so we have a quorum. And I would ask that you rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4 is approval of the agenda. Is there anyone who wishes to make a change in the agenda for this evening? Seeing none, the agenda will stand as it was presented. Item number 5 is approval of the June 22, 2026 regular city council meeting minutes.
Mayor,
Councilmember Spallo.
I move for the approval of the June 22nd, 2026 regular city council meeting minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of June 22, 2026. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Those minutes are approved. Item number 6 is communications from the audience. This is a time during every council meeting when we invite the audience to come before the council for any issue not listed on the agenda. Is there anyone who wishes to come before the council this evening?
My name's Joe Parnicott. I live at 106 Northwest 65th Terrace over in Hamilton Heights. And I've been there something like 35 years, I guess.
Welcome, Joe.
This is a little late, but thank you for the dog park. I think it's the nicest dog park I've seen around. And it's just a beautiful place to spend late evenings over there when it cools down just a little bit. Next was the ordinance on the e-bikes. It's not the most clear thing to read, when you talk about stuff like this, but the gist I get of it is I've got class 2 e-bikes, so there really isn't any problem with me riding them as I have already been on some of the trails and sidewalks and streets below 45 miles per hour, I believe. So I'm not sure they got a whole lot of streets in Gladstone that are 45 miles an hour over, but I'm sure there's one or two. Along with the e-bike thing, now it's probably about time to have some kind of an ordinance like that because they're coming out with some e-bikes that are crazy fast. And I know that's a big problem out in California, parents buying their kids bikes that'll do 50 or 60 miles an hour. It's ridiculous. But along with the e-bike thing is there's been a lot of development. If you go up by Metro North, they've gotten into a lot of bike lanes. There's a lot of signage down in North Kansas City. Although I know down there it wasn't without some controversy. They got some bike lanes and they got some things like that. And now that I'm kind of interested more, not necessarily because I'm trying to get healthy, but because I'm trying to not burn gas, that I'd like to be able to ride my e-bike from Hamilton Heights over to Hy-Vee to do some grocery shopping, maybe have breakfast over there and come home. And we could do something to raise a little awareness, some share the road type stuff, or maybe even, I know it's a big endeavor, but to try to identify some bike lanes so that, especially on the busier multi-lane and higher speed limits, there's maybe a little bit of a segregation between the bikes and the traffic. So That's my only comment. Thank you very much, and now I need to go take my dog to the dog park.
All
So,
right.
Thank
you all
you,
have a good
Joe.
evening.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Please state your name and address, and if you could limit your comments to 5 minutes, we'd appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Mark Samborski, and I'm the new board member at the Village of Oakview. I'd like to introduce myself to you as board member, and I came to speak with people concerning the water situation anyway, because I saw on your program that you were going to be speaking of stormwaters. So I spoke with the pastor of the St. Charles Church, and we have water problems downstream, just to let you know, and I'm sure you know, and I'm sure you've talked about it. But you have a new board, 2 new board members who are very active and very willing to work with and participate with their neighbors. We believe in treating our neighbors right at Oakview, and I'm sure Gladstone has the same heart. And I've been in this area a long time, and I'd like to see it better. I'm a retired gentleman from UPS and ministry. I'm living over in Oakview, and I own a business, and we do a lot in the world of soil. We do a lot in the world of making things pretty at the same time, where I'm thinking there's a whole lot of prettiness, a whole lot of beauty that can take place in the stormwater issues that we're facing right now, where you might think worms, you might think backups, you might think leaves being bad. I work in the world of soil, have degrees in that world, and a lot of experience. And I'm thinking that we can make a beautiful solution as neighbors to a lot of the stormwater situations that we're facing, and probably more and more as the climate changes. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak before the council this evening? Seeing no one, we will move to item number 7, and that's communications from the city council. Councilman Nave.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Well, first of all, thank you so much to the community, to Mayor Pro Tem Spencer Davis, to our Parks Board volunteers for Freedom Fest. It was a ton of fun. But after I kind of recovered from that eventful evening, I was able to go check out Children's Garden Day at the Atkin Johnson Farm on Saturday morning. Really great turnout. Children of all ages were there, as well as the master gardeners. Mika, our new museum director, she did a great interview with Channel 9. And Luke, head of the Friends of the Atkins Johnson Farm, was out there with his family selling corn. I got my corn. You all need to get your corn as well. It is $8 per dozen or $40 per 5 dozen bag. You can visit the city's website for additional information, as well as locations on where stands are located. Thanks so much, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Smith.
Thank you. And I propose that you get your corn in the parking lot of Gladstone Bowl and then come in and join us for lunch. Thanks. You know that I think we're all probably going to say a ton of stuff about the Freedom Fest, and Spencer, I got to give you credit. That was your brainchild, and man, you made it happen. And so I think we ought to come up with a plan and go forward with some promoters and other people's money. So I would also like to invite all of you to an open house Customer Appreciation Day Saturday at Gladstone Bowl. We're going to roll back the prices to 1958 when the place was opened. 25-cent tacos and 35 cents the bowl and 15 cents for a pair of shoes. So bring the family. It's definitely going to be controlled chaos, a little hesitant on the control part. But we invite you to come by, and the reason we're having that is because we have sold Gladstone Bowl. Been in our family for 68 years, and it's just that time. And the reason I'm saying that tonight, because we have been inundated with people because it's been around so long, and people are asking, and so I wanted to let you know that. But more importantly, would like for you to come by Saturday between 1 and 4. Get some really good food at a pretty reasonable price. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Spallo.
Well, you know, I know, like you said, we're all going to say something about Freedom Fest. Okay. But I think what I'm most proud of is the entire evening and how everyone behaved and how everyone really represented Gladstone so well, because there were people there from all over the metropolitan area. And we weren't on the front page of the paper or in the news. There were no arrests that evening. Everyone had a wonderful time, went home safe. And it was just a real tribute to who Gladstone is and what we can accomplish when we all work together, which we always do in this community. So thank you, Spencer, for such a great evening. And I am definitely looking forward to something else. Don't know what it is. I'm sure you're thinking about it.
And keep in mind, this is the upcoming year is the 75th anniversary of the city. Another opportunity to do something big.
Heard that.
And just one more thing, Mayor.
Yes.
Don't want to forget about the Theater in the Park Golf Classic. Registration's now open for the annual tournament. If you're a golfer, please. It's on Friday, July 31st. There's sponsorship opportunities. It's a great event. It's been going on for well over 20 years, and it goes directly back into our Theater in the Park program. So if you know anybody that golfs or if you golf, please consider signing up for that event. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Davis, your turn.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a couple things to say. First, I want to say congratulations to you, Les. I mean, I know that Gladstone Bowl has been near and dear to your, I mean, it's your whole life, right? So it's all you ever knew. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bittersweet, I know. Your parents would be so proud of you. Seeing the pictures that you put up all week is absolutely emotional and awesome. So
Thank you.
kudos to you on that. Couple other things real quick before I do make a comment about Freedom Fest. We do have Sounds on the Square. Continues this weekend with the 2-night lineup at Linden Square. True Tones will take the stage Friday, July 17th, while Nathan Corsi and Fleetwood Mac tribute band Landslide will play Saturday, July 18th. Both concerts begin at 7 p.m. Residents are encouraged to bring a lawn chair or a blanket and enjoy evening of free live music. Okay, good. I do want to make some quick comments about Freedom Fest. This was more than I imagined it to be. I want to thank City Council, first and foremost, for helping me put this thing together, trusting me, and knowing that I'm crazy and a bad communicator at times, but to know that you guys had my back really helped. Leadership, same to you guys, right? Bob, Austin, thank you very much. Chief Ferris, Chief Desautel, wherever you guys are at, thank you very much for making that night epic. But most importantly, the residents of Gladstone and surrounding areas for coming out. That was an epic event. Mayor has teased me for 2 weeks now because I've said epic 4,000 times, but it truly was. It was an epic event. I will lose that word out of my vocabulary here shortly. But it was that block party that was what I remembered growing up. The biggest thing to me was I hope people remember where they were on the 250th anniversary, and I think you will just by default. And to remember that great of an evening is an awesome thing to say that we delivered. Get you emotional. Jeez. Couple people I absolutely want to point out here. Nikki Lansford, where are you at, Nikki? Thank you very much. You helped promote this whole thing, the entirety of it, when we didn't have a marketing plan in any form or fashion, and lost our promoter halfway through. You stepped up and took over. Jordan Brown, you led by example. I mean, this was your show. This was everything that you turned out to be. You had a full team there, and when the going got tough at the end of the night at 1 a.m, you're still working your ass off. That was awesome. I can't thank you enough for being there. Charlie Miles, I don't think he's here tonight. He absolutely stepped up all week long prior to. We made recommendations and then re-recommendations that he fixed multiple times and was, never complained one time. Shelley Hirsch, I don't know if Shelley's here. Shelley stepped up, was out there in the heat of it all damn day, helped all night, the night before, the day before, mark things out, remark things out. Couldn't have done it without her. Linda Border. That was you. I mean, I think you slept there 2 nights. You saved some lady's life that was locked in the bathroom 2 nights before, which Charlie came and fixed it. But, I can't thank you enough. We wouldn't have done that without you. And you never complained. I would have bitched 400 times if I were you. And you never, ever complained. I can't thank you enough. Austin, I think I still have your credit card and I owe all of you dinner. So we will take care of that piece here shortly. I do have one comment to Austin Greer, and that is do better. Two things I'm upset with you about. One, you didn't start at my ice cream eating contest that we put on. I had to call you out. And I was not going to start that without you. So I'm very glad you weren't in the porta potty. But you were in line for something, I think. You were getting food or something. Yeah. We changed that real quick. And then I think you came in third. That's unacceptable for us. We expect more.
I wasn't going to use my hand.
I mean, I do believe our winner was Mr. Serve. Goodness, I can't think of his first name. Isaac Serve. I think he had a method to his madness because I saw him sucking his thumb or putting his thumb on the top of his. I didn't even know that was a real thing, and I was like, "This is crazy." So, judges passed it. So all that to say, just I appreciate it very much. We're gonna do something next year. I don't care if I'm the only one that says that, and I don't know if I'll even be on the board anymore. But I want to absolutely throw a party again. That being said, one last thing, real quickly, is it is so hot out there. Please be safe. Quick reminder, there is day passes over to the pool. Feel free to go over there and cool down, but please be safe. Make sure your AC's on, and if not, feel free to call us and we'll figure something out. So that's it. Mayor.
That's hard to follow. I want to just say to you, Spencer, that your vision, your creativity, your passion, and obviously your multi-talents in spearheading this event are epic. So we can't thank you enough. And for all the people that Spencer read their names out, I say the same to you. It was amazing to see everybody come together to make this event, including the city manager and his wife the next morning very early, who were picking up trash in the park. So anyway, to everyone who had a piece of that, and to all of our residents and people in the community who came, it was an amazing event. So something very special for Gladstone to remember forever. I want to remind everybody on July 25th, two events going on that day. The Kids Fest and the Cutie Pie Try are going to be going on Saturday, July 25th from 9 to noon, and then this mini triathlon for the kiddos. And so that will be fun during the event. And also Movies on the Square are that night. And it's going to be a showing of Lilo and Stitch. So that activities and lawn games start at 8. So that should be a fun event for the community as well. And another fun event I don't want you to forget is Glad Green Team. It will be this Saturday. Location to be determined, but I will be sending out a notice to let everybody know where we will meet. But definitely the Green Team will be out in force on Saturday cleaning up. So thank you, everybody, for your efforts on that. Mr. City Manager, have we left anything for you to say?
Not really. As I sat there and listened to Councilman Smith talk about the 75th anniversary of Gladstone, I reflect back and say I've worked here for over half of that. And can tell you, unless something significant happened in the 37 and a half years before that, this was the best event ever in the history of Gladstone as far as I'm concerned. And as much sleep as I lost moving up to it and sitting here telling myself I can't wait till this is over and behind us, I have to say I'm a little sad because it was just a fantastic event. We got the names of the pilots that did the impromptu flyover in the A-10s, and we are going to be sending them a care package filled with Gladstone goodies. So that said, I know the names have already been mentioned, and I'd be remiss if I didn't repeat them. Charlie Miles, that guy just worked tirelessly. Linda Borders, also Jordan Brown, Shelley Hirsch, Austin Greer. I've sat here and watched, every day of this unfold. And above all else, Spencer, this was your baby. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate the leadership on this one. It was fantastic. That's all I have today.
Thank you. we'll go to item number 9, which is the consent agenda. Madam Clerk, will you please explain and read the consent agenda?
A consent agenda allows the city council to consider and approve routine items of business without discussion. Any member of the city council, the city staff, or the public may request removal of any item from the consent agenda and request that it be considered under the regular agenda if discussion or debate of the item is desired. Items not removed from the consent agenda will stand approved upon motion by any council member, second unanimous vote to approve the consent agenda as published or modified. Consent agenda, consider special event permit, snow cones with the cops, Linden Square, Tuesday, July 14, 2026, 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. Resolution R-26-41, a resolution accepting right-of-way and easements from certain property owners in conjunction with the North Oak Trafficway Road Construction Project, TP 2371. Resolution R-26-42, a resolution authorizing change order number 1 in the amount of $156,800 to the contract with Lina Weaver Construction Incorporated for the FY26 Water Main Replacements Project, WP 2687.
Is there anyone in the audience or the council or staff who wishes an item to be removed from the consent agenda?
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Smith?
move we approve the consent agenda as published.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as published. All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? The consent agenda is approved. We'll move to the regular agenda. Item number 10 is a public hearing, a petition to amend the Downtown Linden Community Improvement District. I will open the public hearing. We will hear from staff, and then we will have a chance to hear from anybody opposed and in support.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. John Mullane with QTAC Rock, the city's bond counsel. I'm here before you tonight on a number of items, but the first one is the petition to amend the Downtown Linden Community Improvement District. Going back in time just a little bit, back in 2019, the city implemented a Chapter 100 and the placement of 2 community improvement districts to facilitate the development of the Fairfield Inn and Suites. Obviously, it's been a number of years since those were taking place, and now the developer has requested an amendment to the Downtown Linden Community Improvement District, basically from a 30,000-foot view, to expand or clarify what its powers are, and in this case, it's to lease real property, and that would be some of the project improvements that are located within the district. That's contemplated under the CID statutes and totally permissible, but they've requested that, and that's what the amendment of the petition is for. And if you approve this amendment to the petition, that's what 2 of the other items are. Number 14 and number 13, the CID contract and the ordinance authorizing the second amendment to the development agreement. Basically, those things are all just the same change 3 different times on 3 different documents. I mean, that's a very 30,000-foot view about what's going on, and there's a lot of alphabet soup with all of the different incentives. But if you've got any specific questions, I'm happy to answer anything.
Does anyone have questions for John? Clarification, this is a little gnarly. No? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Is there anyone who wishes to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone against? We'll close the public hearing. We'll move on to item number 11, which is a public hearing petition to terminate the Linden Block 25 Community Improvement District.
Mayor and Council, John Mullane at QTAC Rock, the city's bond counsel. The petition to terminate the Linden Block 25 Community Improvement District is also requested by the developer for the Fairfield Inn and Suites. Going back in time again, back in 2019, the city did implement a Chapter 100 and 2 community improvement districts to create the Fairfield Inn and Suites. One of those community improvement districts was the Linden Block 25 CID. Basically, that CID has a 1% sales tax on the property, but all of the hard public improvements that it was created to develop, they've been implemented, they've been paid for, and now the developer wants to dissolve it. And this will roll back the 1% sales tax off of the property. And some of the money will be allocated for the portion of the right-of-way the city's going to get to, for the North Oak roundabout. A portion of it's going to go to the remainder of fees that the CID has, its outstanding bills. And then the other remainder is going to go back to the city. And I would just note on this one, actually, and for the prior one, the CIDs did meet this morning and they've had their meeting approving all of these same things today. And again, I'm here if you have any other specific questions.
Any specific questions for John? Okay, thank you, John.
Thank you.
Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this petition or against? Close this public hearing. We'll move on to item number 12, which is first reading of bill number 26-21, an ordinance approving the petition to amend the Downtown Linden Community Improvement District and authorizing certain actions in connection therewith.
More.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
I move to place bill number 26-21 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 26-21 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 26-21 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading bill number 26-21, an ordinance approving the petition to amend the Downtown Linden Community Improvement District and authorizing certain actions in connection therewith.
Mayor Moore.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 26-21, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the first reading of bill number 26-21, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 26-21 on its second reading, say aye. Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Second reading bill number 26-21, an ordinance approving the petition to amend the Downtown Linden Community Improvement District and authorizing certain actions in connection therewith.
Mayor Moore.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
I move to accept the second and final reading of bill number 26-21 and enact the bill as ordinance 4.738.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the second reading of bill number 26-21 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.738. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Nave?
Aye.
Councilman Smith?
Aye.
Councilmember Spallo?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Moore?
Aye. Bill number 26-21 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.738. Item number 13, first reading of bill number 26-22, an ordinance authorizing and approving the First Amendment to the Downtown Linden CID contract between the City of Gladstone, Missouri, the Downtown Linden Community Improvement District, and SREH MAG Gladstone Partners, LLC.
Madam Mayor.
Councilman Nave.
I move to place bill number 26-22 on its first reading.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 26-22 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 26-22 on its first reading, say aye. Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading bill number 26-22, an ordinance authorizing and approving the First Amendment to the Downtown Linden CID contract between the City of Gladstone, Missouri, the Downtown Linden Community Improvement District, and SREH MAG Gladstone Partners, LLC.
Madam Mayor.
Councilman Nave.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 26-22, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 26-22, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 26-22 on its second reading, say aye. Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Second reading bill number 26-22, an ordinance authorizing and approving the First Amendment to the Downtown Linden CID contract between the City of Gladstone, Missouri, the Downtown Linden Community Improvement District, and SREH MAG Gladstone Partners, LLC.
Madam Mayor.
Councilman Nave.
I move to accept the second and final reading of Bill number 26-22 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.739.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the second reading of Bill number 26-22 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.739. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Nave,
Aye.
Councilman Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Spalo,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye. Bill number 26-22 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.739. Item number 14, first reading Bill number 26-23, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute the second amendment to a development agreement between the City of Gladstone, Missouri and SREH Mag Gladstone Partners LLC related to a project previously financed by the city under Article 6, Section 27 of the Missouri Constitution and Sections 100.100 to 100.200 of the Revised Statutes of Missouri, and authorizing the execution of certain documents and taking of certain other actions in connection therewith.
Mayor Moore.
Councilmember Spalo.
I move to place Bill number 26-23 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place Bill number 26-23 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing Bill number 26-23 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading Bill number 26-23, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute the Second Amendment to a development agreement between the City of Gladstone, Missouri and SREH Mag Gladstone Partners LLC related to a project previously financed by the city under Article 6, Section 27 of the Missouri Constitution and Sections 100.100 to 100.200 of the Revised Statutes of Missouri, and authorizing the execution of certain documents and taking of certain other actions in connection therewith.
Mayor Moore.
Councilmember Spalo.
I move to accept the first reading of Bill number 26-23, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of Bill number 26-23, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing Bill number 26-23 on its second reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Second reading Bill number 26-23, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute the Second Amendment to a development agreement between the City of Gladstone, Missouri and SREH Mag Gladstone Partners LLC related to a project previously financed by the city under Article 6, Section 27 of the Missouri Constitution and Sections 100.100 to 100.200 of the Revised Statutes of Missouri, and authorizing the execution of certain documents and taking of certain other actions in connection therewith.
Mayor Moore.
Councilmember Spalo.
I move to accept the second and final reading of Bill number 26-23 and enact it as ordinance number 4.740.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to accept the second reading of Bill number 26-23 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.740. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Nave,
Aye.
Councilman Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Spalo,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye. Bill number 26-23 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.740. Item number 15, first reading Bill number 26-24, an ordinance approving the petition for dissolution of the Linden Block 25 Community Improvement District and the repeal of the district sales tax, authorizing the distribution of the remaining assets of the district and authorizing certain actions in connection therewith.
Mayor Moore.
Councilman Smith.
We place Bill number 26-24 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place Bill number 26-24 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing Bill number 26-24 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading Bill number 26-24, an ordinance approving the petition for dissolution of the Linden Block 25 Community Improvement District and the repeal of the district sales tax, authorizing the distribution of the remaining assets of the district, and authorizing certain actions in connection therewith.
Mayor Moore.
Councilman Smith.
Move we approve the first reading of bill number 26-24, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 26-24, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 26-24 on its second reading, say aye. Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Second reading bill number 26-24, an ordinance approving the petition for dissolution of the Linden Block 25 Community Improvement District and the repeal of the district sales tax, authorizing the distribution of the remaining assets of the district, and authorizing certain actions in connection therewith.
Mayor Moore.
Councilman Smith.
Move we accept second and final reading bill number 26-24 and enact it as ordinance 4.741.
Second, sorry.
Good morning.
It's been moved and seconded, finally, to accept the second reading of bill number 26-24 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.741. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Nave?
Aye.
Councilman Smith?
Aye.
Councilmember Spallo?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Moore?
Aye. Bill number 26-24 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.741. We'll move to item number 16, which is other business. Is there other business to be brought before the council this evening? Seeing none, we are adjourned.